Here are your headlines for the day. At least 20 people have died as this record-breaking winter storm continues to slam the South and Midwest this week. The storm has plunged temperatures below zero and knocked out power in millions of homes. And it's not over. National Weather Service meteorologists say more than 100 million Americans are in the path of the next storm as it tracks from the southern plains to the East Coast over the next couple of days. Utility companies from Minnesota to Texas and Mississippi have implemented rolling blackouts. They say they're doing this to ease the burden on power grids that are straining to meet extreme demand for heat and electricity as record low temperatures were reported in city after city. We're told ice accumulations of as much as 3/4 of an inch are forecast in some areas. Meteorologists have warned of dangerous travel conditions, more power outage, and extensive tree damage. And that's the story there. A lot of people without power. And, you know, while people are dying, actually, at least 20 people, freezing in their homes, others doing different things to try to figure out how to heat their homes for their kids. People are sleeping in their cars. Yeah. While this is happening, the governor of Texas actually spent yesterday night doing the cable TV rounds. And while he was doing that, he was using that time to slam Democrats. That's exactly what he was doing. He has been blaming renewable energy or green energy for the state's problems. So he actually said it's all the windmills' fault, and this is proof that fossil fuels are needed. The thing is, that's a lie. Yeah. It's just not the truth, because Texas operates its own power grid and refuses help from the federal system like all other states, which would have helped them in this instance. And experts are saying, listen, this is the problem. It's a one-party state, and that's it. AOC said something. She tweeted, the infrastructure issues in Texas are quite literally what happens when you don't pursue a Green New Deal.
I feel like we're living a movie The Day After Tomorrow. You guys know about that movie, Soulmates. I had a niece that was stuck in Houston trying to get home, and a lot of people said this could affect the fact that people are getting their second doses of the vaccinations, that it may not, of the vaccine, that it may not happen because it could delay that opportunity, and we don't know how that's going to affect them, you know, having full effect of getting the vaccination in the first place.
It's 1,000% going to affect people getting their second doses. So just to continue on with this story, Texas utility company Austin Energy announced on Wednesday that customers should prepare to remain without power for the rest of Wednesday and potentially another week or more. In a series of tweets, Austin Energy stated that a Wednesday morning ice storm, in addition to the snow that has hit the state in recent days, has caused more power outages in its service area. Austin Energy explained that the prolonged outages are occurring in an effort to help maintain the Electrical Reliability Council of Texas's ERCOT electric grid. It has faced backlash for keeping power on in downtown Austin for the duration of the controlled outages, according to local NBC news station KXAN. Nearly 185,775 people in Austin are reportedly without power, local NBC news station KXAN reported. Almost 35% of those outages in Austin are Austin Energy customers. 3 million people in the state of Texas remained without power as of Wednesday morning, according to poweroutage.us. State officials have asked the Federal Emergency Management Agency to provide 60 generators while giving priority to hospitals and nursing homes, the AP reported. Now, Houston citizens were also complaining about the exact same thing, that the downtown skyline was lit up, but everybody else is, you know, experiencing these rolling outages. And, you know, to continue on with your point about what Governor Greg Abbott did by passing the buck and talking about, you know, the Green New Deal and taking this opportunity to basically poo-poo it. The reality of the situation is countries like Canada and Denmark, in addition to Alaska and Antarctica, have been using wind turbines successfully in temperatures that exceed the cold that they are facing in the southern states right now. The problem is they didn't winterize the equipment. So Greg Abbott has done everything that he can to shirk his responsibilities. The GOP, like in general, has done everything that they can to make this a bipartisan issue. Meanwhile, their constituents are literally freezing to death.
You know, speaking about freezing to death, Melissa, you know, Houston, the Harris County, they issued a boiling water advisory. And so basically what that means is in Houston, like, they're advising you not even to use your water. So if you do get water, they're saying that it can be contaminated. Use water bottles and boil your water for basic consumption like tea and, you know, just to drink. So, I mean, this has really, really gotten out of control. And I mean, even in Austin, Texas, the police, the firefighters responded to a call this morning where someone literally, they burned their whole
burned
house.
their house down.
They burned the house down, but they can't find out where the fire came from. But basically, like what Brooke was saying, people are going through drastic measures just to try to stay warm
The reality
right
of the
now.
situation is, anybody who's, has family in Texas or is even able to watch in Texas, you should not be sitting in your car starting the engine in order to stay warm, because that can lead to carbon monoxide poisoning, especially if your garage is attached to the house. Okay, the reality of the situation is that you start a fire pit, put some rocks in there, put them into pots, take them into the house, and then start to consolidate the heat, start to shrink the spaces in which you occupy, and that is going to allow for you to conserve like natural heat rather than using your car or using fire inside of the house, which can lead to catastrophic circumstances like what we're seeing.
Yeah. Don't bring any outside heating devices indoors.
Yeah.
And can you imagine, to Demi's point about the boil water notice, can you imagine being lucky enough to still have water, but then having an electric stove?
It's unbelievable.
So you can't boil it.
Yeah.
And firefighters, they're not even coming out. They said that there's so many cases of bursted pipes around the city, around the state, that they can't even come out to everyone. So, just stay safe as much as you possibly can, because it's crazy out here right now.
Please do. President Biden clarified Tuesday that his goal is to have majority of K to 8th grade schools physically reopened 5 days a week by the end of his first 100 days in office as the U.S. grapples with the coronavirus pandemic. I think we'll be close to that at the end of the first 100 days, Biden said during a CNN town hall in Milwaukee on Tuesday evening. The goal will be 5 days a week. Biden struggled. He suggested on Tuesday that schools may look to hold classes over the summer in order to catch up after many students have spent the past year in virtual learning due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Production for the upcoming Colin Kaepernick series on Netflix has recently received threats by the Proud Boys, according to TMZ. Production sources on the set of Colin in Black and White sent a memo to staff that informed them of the far-right group's plans to protest filming. The email explained what the Proud Boys were planning on doing and allegedly says that they plan to protest against production on Friday, February 12th. A phone call was also made to the office, but nothing unfolded. In an effort to ensure that the cast and crew were protected, executives included undisclosed safety measures in that notice. A release date for Colin in Black and White has not yet been announced, but we do know that my soror, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, I like to throw that in there. All right, Ava DuVernay, she is going to direct the series. Colin Kaepernick, he's going to narrate, and Jaden Michael will play the role of the former 49er. I am so excited about this a biopic of series. What do you guys think about that? I'm like really, really excited. I'm glad it's on Netflix, something that I already pay for. It's not like a new streaming service, so that helps out a lot. But I'm really excited about this.
So far, I think the casting looks amazing. Like, they couldn't have picked somebody better than Jordan. So I'm really looking. And Ava DuVernay, she can do no wrong.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. All right. Well, NBA legend Michael Jordan is donating $10 million to open 2 new medical clinics in his hometown of Wilmington, North Carolina. According to CNN, the clinics, slated to open in 2022, will serve the uninsured or underinsured residents of New Hanover County, according to a news release from Novant Health, a regional healthcare system. Everyone should have access to quality healthcare no matter where they live or whether or not they have insurance, Jordan said in a statement. Wilmington holds a special place in my heart, and it's truly gratifying to be able to give back to the community that supported me throughout my life. This is not the first time Jordan, who owns the Charlotte Hornets, has stepped up to help his community. In 2017, Jordan committed $7 million to Novant Health to open 2 clinics in Charlotte. Last year, it served as a COVID-19 screening and testing site, providing more than 13,000 tests. Last October, the 6-time NBA champion again partnered with Novant Health to open a second medical clinic in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Got love for Michael Jordan, man. $2.2 billion. He's rich. He has his money. I feel like, honestly, after seeing what happened with Colin Kaepernick, even though he was kneeling for a great cause, we know that. And George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Jordan said, I can no longer stand on the sideline. Let me step up and do things. And he's been doing that, man. So I applaud him.
He absolutely has been putting his money where his mouth is. I mean, I always represent anybody from Chicago, but I just love everything that Michael Jordan's doing right now.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. This man's from North Carolina, though. They'll come and get you in the comments.
Well, let me tell you something.
You don't have he don't belong to you, Demi, in Chicago.
Y'all got to share
me. Michael Jordan belongs to Chicago. That is point blank, period.
Wow.
North Carolina. Take it up.
Okay.
Take it up with the Chicago Bulls. Take it up with them.
Right.
Not me.
All right, former NFL wide receiver Vincent Jackson. This is sad news, actually. He was found dead in a Florida hotel room. He was 38 years old, only 38. ESPN is reporting his body was discovered around 11:30 in the morning Monday at the Homewood Suites in Brandon, Florida. Right now, the cause of death is undetermined, but police have reported no apparent signs of trauma. As a result, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office has opened an investigation into the matter. Now, Jackson is remembered for his prolific career on the field. Of course, in 12 seasons, he recorded 57 touchdowns and 6 1,000-yard seasons, but he will also be remembered for his generosity and goodwill off the field. He was nominated by the Buccaneers for the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award 4 years in a row. He won the NFL Salute to Service Award in 2015, and he founded the nonprofit Jackson in Action 83 to provide military families with much-needed resources and support. The sheriff's office actually today says that Jackson's family told them he may have suffered from chronic alcoholism and concussions, but the family actually told ESPN, listen, the sheriff's office does not speak for us. Right now, the focus is waiting on the autopsy results and also laying him to rest.
Brooke, you took the exact words out of my mouth when I read that, because at first I was just kind of, well, they said that it could be alcoholism. They added CTE, which is, from the movie Concussion that Will Smith had, which is brain degeneration, due to a lot of head trauma or whatever. So I just feel like, shame on the sheriff's office for coming forward. It sounds similar to like how we talk about Kobe Bryant, where, the media and people that are not authorized to speak on a family's tragic loss can speak on something before the family actually gives a statement. And I don't understand how that's possible. Yeah,
that is so true. And you think about it, man, black athletes make up 80% of defensive tackles, 81% of defensive end, 85% of running backs. So if it is turned out to be CTE, understand we take the most hits in the NFL, right?
And Romeo, that's a great point, because they said that it's due to his playing of football in the NFL. So if it is CT, like you said, Romeo, there might be a lawsuit involved as well. Okay, sorry. You know what? I get so wrapped up, you guys. Okay, so taking a look at our YouTube soulmates here. Someone says they keep blaming Obama for things, but they don't say anything about all the foolish stuff that Trump did when he was in office. I mean, what else can we say there? That's a great one. Someone else says, talking about when we were talking about Texas earlier, one of our soulmates says, wow, carbon monoxide issues are happening because people are trying to keep their houses warm. Another one of our soulmates says, OMG, this is so disrespectful and inhumane. Keep those comments coming. You guys stay right here, because we're going to be back with more Fox Soul's Black Report.
Welcome back to Fox Soul's Black Report. This is the space where we inform, inspire, and educate. YouTube Originals and Google Arts and Culture have announced Black Renaissance, a celebration of the contributions of Black history makers. The special will premiere Friday, February 26th on the YouTube Original channel. Black Renaissance will showcase the Black creators, artists, writers, storytellers, and history makers who have shaped our nation's history, and the next generation of Black voices who are re-imaging our future. The series will be hosted by New York Times best-selling author and NAACP Image Award winner Jason Reynolds, and feature messages and appearances from President and Michelle Obama, Stacey Abrams, the artist Her, Anderson .Paak, Killer Mike, and Kelly Rowland, honoring the 50th anniversary of Alvin Ailey's iconic dance masterpiece, and more. Black Renaissance was also created in partnership with Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, Howard University Graduate Film Program, and NAL Media. Definitely going to be looking forward to this, but one thing I'm looking forward to tonight, Australian Open, Serena Williams, Naomi Osaka. Who y'all got?
No, I'm not doing that.
You're not watching?
I'm watching, but I'm not picking one. No.
Y'all can't handle the pressure?
No, you can't do that.
I'm not doing that.
It's a no
Romeo, shame on you. And I was kidding.
Oh, by the way, Romeo, did we talk about the fact that I won the bet?
Yeah, we're running out of time right now, so I think we can probably have to bring that up tomorrow.
Do you want? I was gonna have
my closing.
What was the bet?
We'll discuss that
We're
tomorrow.
in the group chat.
You listen to the group chat.
My closing remarks: Michael Jordan belongs to Chicago.